Welcome to our series, Farm to Fork. I'm Chef Connie Powers, and you're watching Rogers TV. We continue to take you to some pretty unusual farm tours. Today is no different. We're going to Youngs Point, Ontario, to an aquaponic farm called Pure Homegrown. There we're going to meet Pete Kramer and his daughter Samantha, who run the whole entire farm. It's indoor growing, and they grow microgreens, lettuce, vegetables, all using the byproduct of fish tanks. It's a science that isn't seen a lot in Ontario, so this was an interesting tour, and we're going to take you on that. What we're making today using their greens and using some of their vegetables is a crisp spring green salad. So it's a salad that has three components: a crunchy nut topping, a sweet dressing made with lemons, garlic, mayonnaise, and then of course their fresh greens. Let's get started. The first thing you want to do is melt 1 tablespoon of butter in a small frying pan, and then add a half a cup of chopped almonds, about a 1/4 cup of sunflower seeds. I put a little pistachio nuts chopped because I had it. Let's bring that to a little bit of a saute, and then we'll continue on. All right, we're going to continue on with the crunchy topping. We're going to add in about 1 tablespoon of Kawartha Lakes honey, and that's going to give us the crunchy topping to the nuts. So that has to melt a little bit. We're going to add in a little bit of kosher salt and some pepper, and we're going to let that just combine. We're going to let that saute a bit. The honey will melt, coating all those nuts. So what we do with this crunchy topping is we will take it, put it on a parchment paper, and let it cool to top on top of our salad. We're going to lay this on a parchment-lined baking sheet, spread it out thin so that it can cool quickly, and that's what you want to do. You just want to get this cooled. You can put it outside if you've got a cool porch. All right, there's the crunchy topping. So what I have in here is 1 tablespoon of butter, 1 tablespoon of honey, some chopped almonds, some chopped any kind of nut, could be pistachio, could be walnuts, and some sunflower seeds. Let's let this cool. We're going to start the dressing, and that's a very simple dressing, but let's put it together. Now, when we were at the farm, we talked to Pete about how this farm started. So he and his wife went on a trip. They discovered this methodology of growing vegetables using byproducts of fish tanks. And he and his wife purchased a school in Youngs Point, refurbished it to become this growing area. And that was their retirement project. Unfortunately, his wife passed away, and Pete was there plugging away and doing this farm with his daughter, and he's sticking to it. It's working. When I was there, I tasted some of the plants. Now, it's a system of 7 days, so they know when you can harvest. And I tasted some of the arugula, and it's like nothing you will find in a store. It's crisp, it's sharp, it's concentrated. What we're going to do with this dressing is add in about a half a cup of mayonnaise, 3 tablespoons of buttermilk. Don't be afraid of using buttermilk. It is a delicious, and it makes everything just blend nicely. It's smooth, low fat. 3 tablespoons of buttermilk, about 1½ teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 1 shallot diced very fine. Keep losing my spatula. 2 cloves of garlic minced very fine. You're going to whisk this all together. Now, the crunchy nut topping is cooling, which is great, and we're starting the dressing. We're going to put in the juice of 1 lemon, That'll be our acid. And then we're going to finely chop some fresh parsley, fresh dill, and this can be found at the farm. They do sell different retail outlets. There's a small retail outlet in Young's Point. You can go right to the farm and you can purchase these things year-round. All right, I'm going to put this aside. We can use that in a broth. And there we have it. We have a salad dressing ready to go. So in here, mayonnaise, shallots, Dijon mustard, garlic, parsley, dill, and lemon juice. Let's put a little bit of salt and pepper. A little kosher salt and pepper. We're going to stir that up. We're going to come back and we're going to assemble this salad. We're going to take you on the tour. Right now we're going to take a short break and we'll be right back. Welcome back. I'm Chef Connie Powers and you're watching Farm to Fork on Rogers TV. Today we're taking you to Young's Point, Ontario, to Homegrown Farm, and it is an aquaponic farm. We're going to take you to that tour. What we've done this morning is we have assembled all of the ingredients for a delicious spring crunchy nut topping salad. What we have here is about a tablespoon, a little less if you prefer, of unsalted butter, a half a cup of almonds chopped, some sunflower seeds, another kind of nut, pistachio, walnut, pecan, whatever you have, a tablespoon of honey, and some salt and pepper. We sauteed that a little bit and let it cool. We're going to continue to let it cool to get the optimum crunchiness. We have made a mayonnaise salad and we've assembled that. That has mayonnaise, some Dijon mustard, lemon juice for the acid, some dill, parsley, shallots, garlic, salt and pepper. That's sitting. Let it sit for a bit. You get more flavor. We have a half a cup of spring peas that are just going to start showing up in the garden. And we've got our salad ready, some feta cheese crumbled, and we've got a roasted squash, just little tidbits. That can be added, like it or not. You can choose to add that to your salad. We're going to take you on the tour of the farm. When we come back, we're going to assemble this salad. Meet Pete Kramer and Samantha. Welcome to our series Farm to Fork. Today we're in Young's Point, Ontario, at Pure Homegrown Aquaponic Farm. We're here with Pete Kramer's, and he is the owner of this farm. He's going to take us in. He's going to show us how an aquaponic farm works. Let's go see. So Pete, tell us how long you've been on the farm. When did you first purchase the farm?
Well, we purchased the school in 2012, and we decided to do aquaponics in about 2015, actually. So,
well, how does one decide to do that? What interests you?
There was somebody told me, showed me a little Google thing about aquaponics, and the next thing I knew, my son was sending me videos of a guy in California who was doing this. So I decided this would be a good place for it.
To start. So I understand you lost your wife a year ago. The business was purchased together.
Oh yeah, 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 for sure. It was purchased together.
We're probably going to see and feel all of her in this farm.
Wow, just the cleanliness of this place alone is her.
Was her?
Yeah.
And now you work with your daughter on the farm?
Yeah, I work with my daughter. And both my sons help out. And I think when hopefully we get a little bit more productive, and because we've really nailed the growing right now. we're it's a mature farm right now. So I think we have potential for optimal growing, actually.
Okay, so let's talk
Because it's taken time to build the thing to maturity, actually.
Sure, it would. What exactly is going on here?
So all we really do is grow a bacteria that grows naturally in the soil, which changes ammonia from every living thing to nitrogen. And we do that in that bead filter over there. We actually grow the bacteria. The only thing that you need to grow that bacteria is an input of ammonia. So what better way to have an input of ammonia than the natural fish?
So I see 1, 2, 3, 4 tanks, and
this is a 5th tank. We have it online. All we're going to do is take our bigger fish from the 4 tanks and put them in here.
okay. And how many fish do you have in each one?
Approximately 600 in each one.
Each one of these aquariums?
Yeah. So what we do is we exchange the water out of the tanks once an hour. This pump just sucks off the bottom of the tanks, all the tanks, and it enters the filter at this level here, and these beads are floating. I built, yes, a lot of this, yes. And designed it, actually.
Wow, like a lot of expertise. That's
Yeah, I guess so.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah.
So are you the only aquaponic farm in this area?
I believe so. Have you heard of another?
No, I didn't even know you were aquaponic until I talked to you the other day.
Yeah, there was, I believe there was a larger one in, I want to say Mississauga. It was called Aqua Greens, but I think they've gone under because of COVID.
Oh, I see.
Right?
This is a big undertaking because it's an unusual way to irrigate. Because you have to know a lot about fish as well.
So there's no funding for this, right?
Oh, is that right?
No funding, no grants, yeah. The only computer I really have is my PLC computer that controls the pumps and the lights.
You have invested a lot here.
What we do is we bring in 162 flats of peat moss.
Okay.
And we just seed them in the seed room here.
What time of the year would you do that, or is that like any time daily? 'Cause
Yeah.
that's an indoor. This is an entirely indoor farm.
Yes, yeah,
So
Yeah.
you run right through the winter then. You grow right through the winter.
yes.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Like we have kale, chard, cilantro, arugula, dill.
Mostly leafy green.
The air, this air has been blowing in here for 3 years straight. There's a gentleman in Alliance, Nebraska that's been growing oranges in Alliance, Nebraska for the last 30 years without any real heat in his greenhouse.
But geothermal air.
So, yes, with geothermal air. So I've done basically the same, only I've sunk like 10 pipes in the ground. So we get fresh air in there all the time.
So it's always this temperature in here,
Yes,
even in midwinter.
yes.
Okay, so what are you growing?
This is kale, some arugula, a little bit of arugula here. Do you like arugula?
I do. I like the spiciness of arugula. Very much like a radish, like the heat of it.
Yes. This is our harvesting bed.
Some more delicious arugula. Is that spinach or arugula?
I believe that's spinach. It's not nasty.
Okay, that's nice. That's nice.
So that's more arugula.
Uh-huh.
So if you wanted to see, so there's our roots. So these are all a day apart too, right?
Okay, so this stage right now, how many days would that be?
Right now, it's behalf of how many trays are there?
7 years old.
7 days old. Yeah, that's 7 days old. Do you like celery? Cutting celery? You ever
Is
had
this
that?
celery or cilantro?
That's celery.
What? Can I lift this to see what it looks like?
Sorry?
Oh, that is an amazing root. Ah.
Well, You like that?
That's delicious. So
Well, you're the chef.
this would be nice on fish, chicken, pasta dish.
Leafy greens, it's all based on food into the fish tank. So in order to grow leafy greens, you put 20 grams of food into the fish tank. We'll support 1 square meter of leafy greens. If you want to do tomatoes or cucumbers or anything like that, you'd have to put like 60 to 100 grams of food in per square meter. So your filtration system would have to be more robust.
Yes, it would be.
They can't claim to be organic.
Why not?
Because it's a
fertilizer.
An organic is it's a system, a Canadian, like the organic, certified organic, right?
This is harvestable and this goes to market.
Tomorrow this will get harvested.
Tomorrow. And
tomorrow this will get harvested. And I don't think we have one ready here on this side yet.
Do you sell at any farmers markets or is
So we did sell at farmers markets. When you sell at the market, Omoffer comes and tests your food, right? So I've had my food tested because we did sell at the market for 3 years, and every time it's been tested, it has NA.
Or straight up.
Oh yeah.
You get a film? So what's it like working with your dad all day? Is it you get under each other's skin? What happens?
Oh, I think we're pretty good.
Yeah?
Our days.
You know what I find on family
still
farms?
here.
If everybody knows their role.
A system that puts out approximately the same as this.
Yeah.
It says the labor in the greenhouse is 8 hours a day, so that's 2 people, 4 hours. Mm-hmm. Right? And I really think it can be done, actually.
So do you work here full time though? That this is
I'm here like 30 hours a week.
30 hours a week? That's a lot.
I do run the office, the social media, and all that other stuff.
Yeah. What we're going to do, you see these little runs here?
Yeah.
We're, like everybody grows microgreens in soil, but we're going to grow it on hemp. Mm-hmm. Right, so I have a big roll of hemp. I'm just going to pull it down here, and we're going to flood and drain each lane. And then I'm hoping to put a board across here and just pull them up when they're done, cut it, and put it in a clamshell and leave it alive.
And then when you buy these, and you get a swatch of microgreens, the nice thing about having that in your kitchen is you put that on a plate, and this is just keeping it wet, and you've got microgreens for weeks. You can have this amount of microgreens if you don't.
Oh, then I'm gonna have to.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
just
gonna
gonna
have to
shave
fix
them then.
Yeah, we don't want that.
No,
but
I had.
a lot of the farmers will sell it in that, and that is its watering system.
Yeah.
The microgreens, I mean, this isn't good for you, but they will last weeks.
Really, and if you wanted to build one of these in your backyard, you can put in the food for the fish at the same time. You just Google aquaponics 20,000. He claims he can sell you a 16 by 6 something, and it'll feed 4 people forever.
Will it?
Sure, it will. If you use tilapia or something like that, because then you'll get the protein.
You're eating your fish also.
Like Curve Lake right now is building an aquaponic facility, and they're going to be using barramundi, which is a river bass from Australia. I chose koi because of, it's basically because of the water temperature that they grow in. Plants like to suck up nutrients at 70 degrees. No, they like warmer.
I thought they'd be cooler because sometimes
when I picked them, it was either going to be tilapia or them, but I don't want to process fish. And
these will have a longer lifespan, right?
yes, but if you were doing a tilapia, you'd have another tank in there because you'd actually be grading all your fish. So when they get to plate size, you're taking one whole tank out, right? And then you have another one trying to bring those nutrients up.
I see. Yeah.
Right? So you're trying to keep everything level. Koi are just, actually, the scientific name is exactly the same as carp with koi on the end. So they're only just bred for ponds. So if
Yeah,
the
that's-
2 generations of not being bred back into color, they'd look like a carp. Like any farmer is allowed to sell at the end of his laneway. I can't, right? Any farmer can.
Yeah,
Farmer.
but why can't you?
Because I'm not a farm. I'm not zoned agricultural. Right?
Still,
This is a commercial business. Right? So I don't get no tax breaks farm-wise that way either, right?
Or grant.
Or grants or...
the viewers that watch are urban. They have some disposable income. They are foodies. So they are looking at this as a phenomenal way to grow food without that big sprawl.
Well, that's exactly right. There's like just a bag of nutrients out there could feed a garden there and a greenhouse real easy, right?
Yeah, so, don't dismiss this as this isn't a farm, because this is still a food producer. And
Oh, I think it's more than a farm because
it's year-round.
I think I really need to live right here. If I have a
That's what I was gonna ask
if
you.
I have a problem with the power, I don't have very long to get oxygen to those fish, right?
Right.
Like some farmer, his cow can stand there for 3 days before he has to get there, right?
Yeah.
And he's allowed to live there, but I'm well, because it's not a farm for one, right?
Yeah, it's so different. You've got all of these different things to navigate that it's not like a farm. We want to thank Pete and his daughter Samantha for taking us through this plant. We just learned a whole lot here, and we learned that there's some farmers who are going to take an unusual turn. They're going to grow food no matter what. This is the future of food.
Welcome back. That was a great tour. We have all the components for the spring crunchy nut topping salad, and we're going to assemble it. So we have arugula and romaine from Pure Homegrown. We have washed it, and you don't really need to. It's so clean, and it's soil free. So we did clean it, and we cut it up nicely in this bowl. We are going to first add the peas. So we have about 1/2 cup of spring peas. These these were frozen, but they still have that flavor. That's the nice thing about peas, is that you can freeze them and they maintain their consistency, they maintain their flavor. So we're going to toss that, make sure that those are evenly distributed, and then we're going to put in our dressing of mayonnaise and Dijon mustard with a little bit of dill and a little bit of parsley. We're going to combine that. This would be delicious with a grilled steak, a different protein outside. This is really nice and fresh for the spring. And then we're going to add in a little bit of the roasted and cooled squash. Now, if you don't want to do this, that's your preference, but it adds a nice nutrient-dense food to it. You could make a couple salads if you have someone in the family who doesn't prefer that. And then the part that is so tasty is the crunchy nut topping. It has cooled. It is only, you can see. Now this is something that you can't really make ahead because it will tend to go clumpy in a container. Even if it's airtight, it tends to lose that crispiness. So we can add this. It might be okay for a few days, but it's not something you could put on your pantry. I don't mix it in, I let it sit on top, and then you add a little bit of feta cheese on top. The color is pretty with the squash and the crunchy nuts. The peas are in there, and there's the feta on top. And there you have it, a very uncomplicated salad. It doesn't have to be complicated, it just has to be fresh. Thank you to Pete Kramer and Samantha of Pure Homegrown for taking us on a more than organic farm. And thank you for coming today. Make this salad, and until next time, keep cooking.